Welcome everyone to OTech Pro weekly webinar held every Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. We are glad you are here. We hope you've learned some new information. Our topic today is continuous monitoring and maintenance. And to begin, we're going to have Collins Mana from UK begin. Go ahead, Collins.
Yeah, so thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Marty Digamo. Again, it's great. We are grateful to be here. Just want to, greet my brothers, Vincent, Bob, and Oliver. So we are here again today to talk about continuous monitoring and maintenance. In IT, there are a lot of things we've already discussed here. The last time we talked about software development, life cycle, and then we talk about continuous integration, continuous delivery and integration. And today we are looking at the last phase, which is maintenance. So we're talking about monitoring and maintenance. So no matter what we do, we have to maintain, we have to monitor. In software, there is no way, that's part of the life cycle. So you can't develop a software without maintaining it, without monitoring it. So what is monitoring? So I'll just look at the simple definition of monitoring. They said, observe and check the progress or quality of a software over a period of time. Keep under systematic review. You need to maintain, you need to look at the flow to make sure everything is working over a period of time. That is monitoring. And maintenance is about what? It's about the process of preserving a condition or situation or the state of being preserved. So we need to look at that, because normally when you look at anything, for instance, you monitor something and anything is broken, what do you need to do? You have to maintain it. So let's look at this logic, simple logic. You build a house from scratch. You build the foundation, you go up, you put all the rooms, you do everything, complete the whole infrastructure. Now you get into your house. You are living there with your family or yourself. What will happen when you look at the walls? Oh, maybe the paint is maybe not really as it is in the beginning. What will you do? You will go and again say, okay, let me repaint it. That is maintenance. Monitoring is about looking, observing. You going around, look at the windows. Oh, everything is fine. It's working smoothly. It's the same with software. When you build, you need to observe. You need to monitor and make sure everything, the flow is okay. The code that was released is okay. The database is running smoothly. The security part, everything is just running. You need to keep an eye on everything. The reason why you have to do that is because if you don't look at it, what will happen? If it's crashed, everything will fail. And remember, we have applications that have crashed. Banking application crashed in the UK. People were not able to withdraw their money. There are things that you don't monitor, it will not. We talk about Facebook, other things, company that their site have just gone down, not because they didn't, it was because of maybe poor maintenance and poor monitoring. But we are talking about coming into ONPASSIVE, where we standing out as tech team, looking at it from outside, we know this is one of the things that are in place, must be in place, and we are sure that it is already there. They are monitoring the system, they are looking at everything, and they are maintaining it to make sure it accommodates the volume of customers or those that will be coming in to participate in all our products. So I will leave it there, and I will hand over to Sister Lynn, and we'll give it over to one of friends to take it over.
Thank you so much, Collins, for that brief and clear overview. We would now like to hand it over to Oliver Fonte from the United States. Go ahead, Oliver.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Want to say hi, Lynn, Maddie, and our founders who are watching us today. Want to say thank you. And we're proud that you guys are here to hear what we want to say about continuous monitoring and maintenance. After all the process that have been going on in the software or system development life cycle, comes now the final phase. Once they roll out the software, they roll out the product, comes now continuous monitoring and maintenance. We should also understand that we have artificial intelligence that that is embedded to all our products, and with AI is very powerful. We should also remember that with AI we have integration and the monitoring part that is there. That despite what, not like other companies that they don't have AI, they have too much work to do. With AI is going to help us on passive with our products. We are going to have limited or minimal risk, or that will monitor, but there'll be actually no risk. There'll be no box fixing. It comes with, we have tools that we use, and I'm sure that our CEO has a dashboard that they will use, and that will set an alert in case there's anything to fix or whatever thing that comes in that they will use to that it is going to alert the tech guys for them to use. There are a lot of tools out there. If I call the tools, you guys will not even understand what the tools are. And it also has a reporting. It report anything that goes on. As it continues to monitor, it set the alert, it report it also, and as it report it, it report direct to the tech guys. The tech guys then now will take it, fix it, and this is going to be a long term. So long as AI is involved, as so long as any of our products are that they are working out there, people are buying, we have customer buying, rolling them out for customers to buy, there will be continuous monitoring and maintenance. But with AI that is embedded in all our products, it will be very limited or even nothing. It will just be there that we should monitor. And this also gives us a lot of advantage to all the other tech companies that are out there, that they will not be able to compete with us. Even our storage, even where all the data are being stored, are also that they also monitor them to make sure that the security that is there, no matter what we will say about continuous monitoring, we also have to make sure that security is plugged in to make sure the bad guys will not be able to, though it's AI, and AI dictate the bad guys. AI dictate whatever defense they want to come, and AI is also in our firewalls. So they will not be able to, but we still have to monitor them. If the data are stored, we still have to monitor them. When they are encrypted, we still have to monitor them. If the data are being transmitted, moving from one direction to the other, encrypted, we still have to monitor them. In case anything wants to come in, the alert, since it monitor, that alert will come. I go to the tech guys, they will dictate it, and it's going to be fixed. But I just want to assure us here that we are going to have minimal or even no risk, but we still have to have the monitoring and the continuous monitoring and the continuous maintaining our products, so as to make sure that we are ahead of the game all the time. See, this continuous monitoring and maintenance is very, very important. It's very, very important. Vulnerabilities has to be tracked. Vulnerability and the bugs, we have to fix them. That is continuous monitoring, and it's going to be for long term. But like I said, the advantage we have AI. So there will be no panic. Our customers are going to enjoy us. We are going to certify all our customers. Make sure that they will be referring us to the other customers, because continuous monitoring is there. We are fixing and maintaining all the time. If there are vulnerabilities, we'll fix it. If I'm patching, we'll fix it. Pen test, automated pen test, we'll do it. So I will leave it there. Angeline, take it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Could you tell me what a pen test is?
Pen test is, we have two types of pen tests: the automated pen test and the manual. Manual pen test is what they do perform the manual pen test once a year by a third party. I know we've discussed that here once, that we hack the system, we secure it. We hack the system, we secure it, hack it and secure it. It takes a length of about between 3 to 6 months to do that all the time. Then we have automated pen test. Automated pen test is the one that is being done automated. Like we do have 100% automated with AI. So that the bad guys cannot come in. They cannot come in easily. the automated one, because they will have that detection that it will detect them already, and it's secured. That's the perfect way to secure the system also. So that alert, that is continuous monitoring and maintenance also, and fixing.
Yeah,
So
let me
does
before we go, Oliver.
PEN means penetration, right?
Penetration
test.
yes.
Penetration test. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear. It's penetration test.
It's penetration test. Yeah, it's just about to check the vulnerability of the database.
Oh,
if
yes.
the database is vulnerable.
Okay, that makes sense to me. Yeah. Thank you for clarifying that. That was very, very helpful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Next, we have Vincent Ete. Go ahead, Vincent.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Auntie Lynn. Thank you, Marty. Thank you, my brothers, Collins, Oliver, and Bobs. Okay, to be here this evening for another wonderful webinar. So the topic today is continuous monitoring and maintenance. And also let you know that the database also apply to continuous monitoring and maintenance, because without the maintenance and monitoring, we could face a disaster issues. So without wasting time, I need to explain to people, just not too technical way, just break it down, what is a database. So the database is a systematic collection of the data. So the database support electronic storage and then the manipulation of the data. So the database make the data management easy. Without the database, the data management will be difficult. So, and then I'll use use like a live scenario example, like online telephone directory. Use a database to store the people data. So this is online telephone directory. Even the telephone numbers, the contact data, they use the database. We use another example. We use like electricity providers. They use a database to manage the bills, client related information, and also, and if it's any issue fault, they use the database to handle these issues. And then also, let's also talk about like social media. The social media today, they all use a database just to store the information, to manipulate the information, and then present the information related to members, or maybe to their friend, or to members' activities. So this is even the advertisement. When you go to social media, all this kind of information, there's a lot of more for information. They are all using the database to do that. So is the database, this is countless of numbers of usage of database. There are thousands of database. Even when we travel, we go to airport, the information they use it, the airlines company to send your ticket, and then where the airport you're flying from, the airport you're flying to, all they use the database to do this thing. So back to our today topic, monitoring, and the monitoring, and then also in the maintenance. So in database, we have to, for monitoring the database, because our CEO said we have 2 database in the house. So if we don't monitor them and then we don't maintain them, it could be a disaster. So the best way to look after the database, to monitor the database, first of all, we need to monitor the disk usage, like the storage, because the storage where the database is stored, we need to make sure that we have enough storage to maintain our database, because day and day we use it, it keeps growing. So we want to make sure that we have a good capacity or good storage to maintain our database. This is one of the disk usage. And then we think about the CPU, the central processing unit. So when we have a high usage of the CPU, it can affect the performance. And then also we need to look that we don't have high usage of the CPU to maintain, and then because high usage could drop to the performance, affect the performance issues. We have also the memory. The memory is mostly on every single device we're using nowadays. Even mobile phone, we have a memory. So if the memory is in high usage, we could also affect the performance of our database, our product. So this is one thing we need to talk. We've talked about error logs and also alert and log monitor. I think my brother Oliver said that when you are seeing, the tech guy will receive the alert. So this is in SQL Server, we have that system also in build system tool, that when you are sitting there, you check the log, you check the alert, we can send And then the alert, let me put the alert and the log, let me compare to your car. When you're driving your car, you will see a message in your dashboard that there's something happened to your engine. In the database, a similar thing happened there. So when we are sitting there, we can get alert or error log to say, okay, this is what happened to your system. You need to check. And then following the error log or the alert, you go there and then you fix the issues. This is part of the monitoring system as well. You need to check also the custom metric. You need to also to check the active section, all the section who is active, and then also to check the deadlock, also all the logs. So this is how to check the maintenance of the database. So the database works smoothly and then the performance is great. So back to looking a bit about the maintenance also of the database, because in database, we have a maintenance plan. So in database, we have a system called maintenance plan. So the maintenance plan, we check also the database integrity. We make sure that the database, the integrity of the database is good. This is part of the maintenance. And then this thing, sometimes we can set up automatically so that, and then they run weekly. So it's a automatic system will run weekly. We'll also do something called in the database called the index plan maintenance. So the index is relating similar to the index of the books. So when in the database, you need to make sure that you check the maintenance, because the maintenance relating to the also part of the database system. Because if you don't check the indexes, and then high utilization of that indexes also slow down the system and then affect the system. So you need to check that the indexes system as well, because we need to rebuild the indexes and also reorganize. When it's high, you can also rebuild. When it's maybe less than 30%, you can just reorganize the indexes. So we have also a system called update statistic. So in the also weekend maintenance, you need to check also the statistics so that the database have a good performance. So then the last part I'll talk about, part of the maintenance, is the backup. Backup is part of the maintenance, because the backup is a copy of your whole system, the whole database. So it's also part of the maintenance plan, because if part of your maintenance plan, you don't include the backup, so you miss a lot, because anything happened to the backup is like yesterday, people asking a question about the summary in ONPASSIVE account. So if maybe let's say today we have a 15 in your account, and then last week we have like, you should have 25. And then after the engineer, they finish the work, and then they realize that there's something missing from last week where it's not today, they can use the backup of maybe last week Sunday, or the missing from yesterday was maybe Thursday, they can use Thursday backup to restore the system, and then the system will come back as it used to be, and then what the engineer want the system to be, and then the job done. So this is a part of the maintenance we need to do to make sure that the database we're working fine, we have a good performance, and then the integrity is there. So thank you. I'll pass it to Angeline.
Well, what I got from that is the database is precious, it's crucial, and we'll do everything we can to protect it, right?
Exactly.
That's me, the layperson speaking.
Yeah, the database is like the heart of every organization. If you mess up with the database, because this is where all the information, and then it's not, we don't give the database to anyhow or anyone to work on with the database. Even the employees in the company, they have a very little access to the database, because it's the heart of the company. Anything goes wrong, it's finished. And then sometimes we have a sensitive information like people's salary, and then all the information of the company is there. So we don't give access to anyone anyhow. So it's very, very, very critical thing we need to any company. So this is the like heart of every organization.
Wow. Does that, I have a quick question. You know how we're going to have our own data center. So does that mean that we get to preserve our database to ourselves? No other party will have any access or even see our database. Could you elaborate on that?
Yeah, it's good to have our own data center, because if we let's say ONPASSIVE, we have like our CEO, we have 2 big database in our house. If we hand our data to another company, they can steal our information. By having our own data center, we'll keep our information in our house so that, and then the information is protected. And then outsiders or our competitors, they cannot have our information. So this is why it's important for a big company and a good organization to have their own data center. It's like you are giving all your secret or all your boxes to someone to look after for you. If it's in a house, anything can happen because it can go overnight and then people can steal and check, oh, Antolin have in the box, diary here, there's this one here, and then they can go. But if it's in your own house, you have your eyes on it, and then only thing you worry is the people from outside. You kept it from them so that they cannot come in your house to get your information. This is the importance of the data center. Data center, you hold all your own information, all your own data. Everything you do in your company is inside there. No one can come outside to. But when you hand your data to another company to look after, even the whole employee working for that data center, they can steal your information.
Yeah,
so that's how it goes. So it's very important.
Yeah, I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want to trust.
So that's why
an outside party.
That's why it's good to have our own data. So having our own data center is very important for us. And then it's like we're getting our information secure and no one can come and steal our information because it's in our own house. We're not giving to third party to look after us for us because we are our company. We have our own data center. Everything is owned by us. So no one is looking after our data. So having the whole data center is to have a secure environment and secure company as well, because everything is secret and no one outsider can come and get our sensitive information.
Well, that makes sense. And plus the data center, ours is AI. It's an AI data center. So doesn't it provide additional layers of security through not only AI, but the fiber optics, the IPv6, and one more thing I know Oliver mentioned. Anyway, there's different layers of security that come with this AI data center that we have. So it makes me feel very, very safe. I mean, I know security is something that you always have to be vigilant about, and nothing's 100%, as Oliver has often said, but I think we're getting close to 100% just through these layers. So I'm really happy.
Having our own data center is more secure, and then we are more protected from outside world.
That's awesome. All righty. So next we have Bob Takusi, who will be making some remarks. Go ahead, Bob.
Sure. Hello, everyone. Hello, my fellow brothers. Good to be here. Antolin, Brother Madi, if you can hear us, it's a pleasure being here as always. You know, a couple of weeks ago, I think it was, we talked about continuous delivery, stacking the code. Remember, we talked about stacking the code, continuous delivery, adding value. I think Collis told us adding value, constantly adding value. So now, when we add this value, when we continuously deliver and add value to our ONPASSIVE products, we also have to continuously monitor them to make sure that they are operating and performing as intended, as they are supposed to, right? So we have to continuously monitor and maintain them. You know, we are in times where technology changes, and ONPASSIVE, ONPASSIVE, we are the cutting edge. We are at the front line. We are the ones to drive technology, you know, ahead. So we want to make sure that any changes or anything, as things change, as technology changes, we catch up, or either we are ahead. And we do this. I think Collis already brilliantly said this. But we do this through, you know, I have 3 points. We do it through constant, at Harvard, I say, continuous testing of the system, continuous testing, patching, and also continuously monitoring our security. Okay. Now, continuous testing, right now, as we speak, they are still continuously testing our systems, right? We have, I remember, I think Collis has repeatedly said something like, when there's an issue, they click, they can see where we click everywhere, and they've captured our information. They already have it in the back office, our technicians, every error, every issue that we have, they already have it. The reason why this is so, they have it is because they have created all kinds of test cases and scenario scripts. They have automated scripts that I believe, in this case, it should be, maybe it's even programmed to run like hourly or so. So these scripts, they run automatically, even though they have finished the test and everything, the scripts will run just to test the system to make sure it's okay. If it is not, if the script fails, usually an alert will go out to the developers. That's why before we even call the back office or put in their ticket, they already know what is going on. The reason why that is because they have created all kinds of test cases and scenarios, and they have automated these scripts. They put in parameter, they do what we call the parameterize these scripts to run, right? So they are constantly testing the system. That's what is happening. And then they patch it. They're constantly patching maintenance. When we find issues, they fix the code, they apply, they patch it, they fix it, they're constantly fixing. So this is an ongoing process that will continuously going on and on as we are ahead of the game. Actually, ONPASSIVE, we are ahead of the ball when it comes to our technology and where we are driving the industry to. Then I would like to talk about security from me. I'm a security guy, so I'll concentrate more on the security side. Also we look at the network, we monitor the network, the infrastructure. We look at the network, and then also look at the database, which my brother Vincent just said. But from the security side, usually, typically, I think Oliver will bear with me here. I'm pretty sure that there is a security operations center in Hyderabad. There's a SOC room, security operations center, where you have giant monitors, TV screens all over the place. And typically they have something that they call a SIM tool, a system information event management tool, which is connected. It is connected to everything in our system, all the logs, like operating systems, our databases, our firewalls and routers, our proxy servers, our authentication servers, our application logs, performance logs, everything about our system is configured there. So we are sitting in this SOC room, and we are seeing everything that's happening to our system. Once there's any issue, an alert, as we said earlier, an alert goes out to the analyst. In this SOC room, we have specialists who are sitting in there. They are ready to react to anything that has happened to our system. That is continuous monitoring. We continuously monitor our system, not only our system, our security, our infrastructure as a whole. And by so doing, and then we add AI again on top, as my brother Oliver said, AI automatically comes in. AI has a powerful detection capability to detect whatever is happening. But it depends now on us to react to what happens. So I'm pretty sure we have a masterclass incident response team ready to also react, And once we have that, which I know we do, we are continuously going to be ahead of the curve. And nobody is going to catch us. And our founder is a man whose mind is 5 years ahead of everybody else. So we'll constantly be ahead, and through continuously monitoring and maintaining our system, we'll do very good. So that's the little I wanted to add to what my brothers have said, and I'll send it. I'll actually call Brother Madi. I hope he can hear me. I know he's busy, but I just want to post an open question for him. We've been talking about ONPASSIVE, the products and everything, the value. We've talked about continuously adding value. I just look at it as, how did we all get here for this price, for $97? Listen to what we are talking about, guys. We have this many products. We have physical products. For $97, we come in and we're part of the company. So I hope Brother Madi is hearing me, to just come and just throw light to us, to the value of, for people not to confuse the $97 and the value of ONPASSIVE. I hope you can hear me, Brother Madi. Can you hear me?
I think he's not in the webinar at this time. I don't see him.
Not?
Yeah.
It's not it.
I don't
Okay,
see
yeah,
him.
but maybe I can throw that up to us there, Antilene, if you don't mind. We can just.
Yes, let's do that.
Yes,
Let's have a discussion on
a
that.
discussion about it. Then Marty can come in and add. You know, I don't think anybody wants to start bet. You know, just, I mean, look at what we have, guys. Look at our ecosystem. We have more than 50 products, so many 50 digital products, so many physical products for $97. A system that is automated is working for you. You wake up, all you need to do is you go to the back office and check. The only thing you actually really need to know is to know how to connect to your wallet, to your bank account to withdraw your money. That is it for real. We are just doing this here tonight for the benefit of those who want to just find out what's going on. You need not know anything that's happening about the system. The system works for you. It is automated. Catmo, a complete digital system that is powered by artificial intelligence for targeted traffic to make money for you while you sleep. That's ONPASSIVE. You don't have to know anything about this system. All you need to do is believe in us, in Ash Mufare. And for $97, that's a gift to the world. The man is just giving us a gift, you know. So I don't know if any of my brothers want to add something here, but I just feel blessed to be part of this panel and the general ONPASSIVE family, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I want to add on that. Thank you, Uncle Bob, for that. If it's good you brought up the $97 issue here, because most of the founders don't even know what is going on, and it's a shame that your own company, that you have your own company, Ash has given you a gift for $97. You want to take that $97 and think that's the value of the returns that you're going to have. No, let me tell you here, no, this is a super giant company that you cannot compare. You can never and should never. We should never. Already you have a domain account and you have a website. Just for you to pay for that domain account, just for you to pay for somebody to create you a website, just for you to pay a money to maintain that website on that reside on that domain account, it will not take you nothing less than $2,000 to $3,000. And you want to compare $97 to what you're going to have. Please think well. And in addition to that, when we talk about maintenance and continuous monitoring that increases value to our system, our CEO has looked across the board. He has looked everywhere in all the other tech companies. For me, what I've seen, what he has done as an IT person, he has looked into all the other products out there in the various companies, look at their gaps and took it, and he has given us a master product. A master product. Please do not, I'm begging, do not look at that $97. Do not, because each of the value of ONPASSIVE, we have more than how many products? The value of even one of our product, OMail, is not $97. OnTrim is not $97. OTracker is not. Look at OStaff. OStaff comes with its own domain, with all the human resource application that you think out there on this planet Earth is in OStaff, our HR product. Do not think that $97 is what the value of that product of ONPASSIVE. Please, it's a gift. It's a gift, and that is why I, for one, I know Uncle Bob, Vincent, Collins, all of us in here, Auntie Lynn, we know that $97 worth more than that. Every day, be engaged. This is your business. Be engaged. We are now in a very crucial moment. Like the CEO told us yesterday, things are moving very fast. We are going to blow things up. Please be engaged. I know some people will come and they'll start to talk. My email address, my password, I can't get access to it. Please, it's not time for that. We are more than that. We are moving ahead. And that continuous monitoring and maintenance also increases value. That also make us be ahead of the game, or we'll be ahead of the game all the time. From continuous delivery that we talked about last week, to now continuous monitoring and maintenance, we are ahead of the game. Our technology, our system, from the IPv6 and IPv4 that is hybrid, from our data center to our AI cloud data center is hybrid, name it. We have the fiber optic cable that is connected to our server with its own security, name it. Please, where we are, if we do know the technology that we have, we should be celebrating, and we will know that we are ahead of the game. Yeah, Auntie Lynn, let me give it back to you. Or maybe my brother Collins wants to take it also from there. Thank you.
Sure, any of you can go
Yeah,
ahead and continue the discussion.
Yeah, this is really great. Thank you, Bob, for bringing up that, and Oliver, you've just touched on it. You know, I just want to touch a little bit about the $97, especially those who are viewing. There are people who want to join and they are thinking like, my goodness, sometimes, as Brother Oliver said, we look at $97 and we judge the value of ONPASSIVE. Sometimes it is the human psychology. You go to a shop, you want to buy a shirt of the same value. A shop will be selling it for maybe $50. Another shop is selling it for $200. What will you say? You say, oh, the one with $50 is not good. I'll go for the one for $200, because that is the human brain. We think something that is more expensive has more value. But I'll tell you, ONPASSIVE flip it the other way around. Only those who can see can really pierce through ONPASSIVE and know there is something massive in this. Remember, when ONPASSIVE started, maybe there are new founders here. $97 is a symbolic thing. It stands for the 97% of those who have tried something online and they fail. That is a symbolic thing of ONPASSIVE. It is not the value of ONPASSIVE. It is 97%. Only 3% of those who have come online are successful. But 97% are failures. Mr. Agbufara look at it and say, you know what? I want to turn the 97% of those who have tried and failed, come into ONPASSIVE, and you'll be successful. It is not the amount. Remember, if you want to look at ONPASSIVE, you came in when ONPASSIVE started, it was what? Internet marketing solution. That is what you pay $97 for. Let's look at a shop. A shop owner called you and said, I have a bench for $97 or for $50. Once you walk through the door, he said, take everything for free. Won't you be happy? Some people will look at you, are mad. I came for a store. It's because he uses a store to bring you in. And he said, there is something that you don't know. And he said, okay, you come for internet marketing solution. I'll give you all mail. I'll give you all decks. I'll give you that, all connect, everything, data center. And we still complain. You come for one, they give you everything for free. So $97 is just peanut. Ask yourself, is there any business in this world that the size of ONPASSIVE that they will give you for that? Even those who trade, the lowest you can go into trading is 250 pounds. I've seen it before. I've done it. There is nothing you can go in trading less than. Talking about this giant, this monster of ONPASSIVE for $97 is a joke. Those who look at it, it is a joke. It is a gift from heaven. And if you don't see it, I just pray that God should continue to blind your eyes so that when they shut the door, then your eyes will open. That's my only prayer I can pray, that God should continue to shut your eyes. So when the door shut, then you will see it. And when your eyes come up, there will be no way to come in. That's my own prayer I can pray for you, because I always said, if you cannot join ONPASSIVE now, the only thing I can do is to pray for you. But I will not pray good prayer. I will say, let God continue to shut your eyes. So thank you, Stalin, and I'll leave it there.
Anybody else want to continue? Any more words about this?
Let me also add something about that. We should know that we always talk about ONPASSIVE from the heart. From the heart. It's built out of humanity. Our CEO is a God-given person, and he wants to eradicate or reduce poverty in the world. That is where his eyes went to, and he said, there are people all over the world. Out of the 8 billion people, maybe 1%, 2%, 3% of them are millionaires, billionaires. And the larger amount of the percentage are suffering. They can't even have $1 meal a day. And he wants to help. And I'm saying this, all the 1.2 something to 3 million founders that we are today, God has seen our heart. And God knows that we are going to touch or impact other people's lives or replicate ourselves. That is why we are here. We are the chosen ones. We are the chosen ones. So we should not look at that $97. We should look at what we are going to do with what is going to come in. Please, if you look at what the CEO has been talking today, all these days, he will not say anything without talking about humanity, eradicating poverty, reducing poverty in the world. Chris Johnson is also there, out there, you know, doing a good job. Doing a good job. Because it's from the heart. And if we cannot see that, then I don't know. There are people that we've talked to, we've shared ONPASSIVE with, doctors, PhD holders, IT gurus also. They cannot see it because God has blocked their mind, according to my brother Collins. God has blocked their face because they don't have that heart to share. I will leave it there. Maybe Uncle Bob or Vincent want to say something.
Yes. Let me just share a quick story to tie it on with this. So I was out of the country. I was in the Caribbean this weekend, and I met a couple. So we're exchanging notes, we're talking, exchanging pleasantries, and they asked me what I was doing. I told them that my company is called ONPASSIVE. We're about to launching. We're introducing ourselves to the world, and we are located at the Burj Khalifa. We have 2 floors, floor 151 and 143. They were wowed by that. Do you think it is that $97 that I paid that got me that floor? No, not at all. Not at all, my dear friends. It is the heart of Ash Mufare. So let us not kid ourselves or fool ourselves. Look at this $97 and think that this is the value, this is what ONPASSIVE is. It is not. You are totally wrong. And in our O-Winners community, in our O-Winners family, there's a theory that we've also come up with to tie with what my brothers are saying here, that some people have been blinded. Like Oliver said, we have friends, some of our friends, and most of our friends are in the IT industry. They don't see it. People who are PhDs, they don't see it. You know, so we'll come to the theory that when your natural predisposition, when your heart, when who you are at the core, when your predisposition is to give, right? When that's who you are, your natural predisposition, you want to help. Like all 1.3 million founders who are here, because right now, there's no founder that I know that is not talking about how to uplift their community. That is who we are. Our natural predisposition that the good Lord has seen is that is who we are. And then he will open your eye, Collins. That's what is happening. The good Lord opens your eyes when he sees that your natural predisposition, yes, who you are. They open your eye to see. If you don't see it, you don't belong here. That's the truth, my dear friends. You know? So we're going to keep going, keep pushing forward. When the door is shut, that is when you will hear what we call a mournful, you'll be hearing, I'm looking for the English word, a cry, a mournful cry. You hear like people crying from afar. When Ashmafara will say, okay, it's time for us to shut down this door. I don't care how much you have. If you have $1 million, you're not coming in. People will start running after. It's at that moment that we will start being the haunted. Those our friends are going to start coming back to us one after another. They will say, sorry, it is closed. But you can become a reseller. You can still come in, but you are not a founder anymore. It's not possible. I don't care how much money you have. Thank you, Auntie Lynn.
This is true. You know, just being a founder is such an honor. It's a privilege. It's a blessing. There's so many other words that can describe our fortune that someone shared ONPASSIVE with us, and that our hearts and our minds were open enough to receive the information about ONPASSIVE and accept it and believe, you know, believe before maybe there's any solid proof. For many of us, we came in a couple years ago, you know, and we had the confidence and the trust in Ashmafara, knowing that this company is going places, you know. And I think as time goes on, we will all see for ourselves, and the world is going to see how ONPASSIVE is going to grow. It's how it's going to be a big player in the world, you know. So I think that and I do agree with you that not everyone will see it. It matters not what their educational level is, their sophistication, their background. None of that even matters. You know, I've shared with people who are illiterate, who've dropped out of school when they're like 10 years old, and they see it, you know, and you can talk to someone who has a PhD till you're blue in the face, and they will not get it. So as Ashmafara says, not everyone is meant to be a founder. And so that gives me peace. So when I share ONPASSIVE and the person is receptive, I know they're meant to be a founder. And when they're not, I know they're not meant to be, but they'll come in later. The people who are doubters today, once this company launches, they can come in. They can come in as they're going to be customers for sure, because everyone's going to want what we have, our products. And if not just a customer, then they'll maybe become resellers, and they will make good money as resellers. But they just won't have this precious position, which we call the foundership. So we are all blessed because we here, all 5 of us are founders. And I believe many of the attendees of today's webinars are founders as well. So let's go ahead and wrap it up. And I want to give each of you a chance to say your final parting comments. So we'll start with Colin.
Yeah, so thank you, Stalin. And Martin Gamo is not here. I know they will watch it and listen to us later. I just want to thank all the panelists. Yeah, as we said, we've talked about, you know, continuous monitoring and maintenance, which is vital for ONPASSIVE and for any technology company. They must monitor their product. It's a vital machine. As I said, there are a lot of examples where when things are not monitored and are not maintained, there's always problem. And we know we have, you know, the technology behind to ensure that ONPASSIVE will run smoothly for decades and upon decades to come. So as we said, we are not here to teach like the IT stuff, the technical stuff, but we are here just to assure everyone that you are in good hands under our the leadership, Mr. Ashmafara. Everything is well calculated and it's a thoughtful process. But as we said, it's just to give you hope and to make sure you are patient enough to wait until we are there, because we are already there. There's just the cross line now, the finish line. So we just want to thank you. To those who have not even seen it, the only thing I can do is to pray for you. We can pray for you. As Lynn said, not everybody will be a founder, because not everybody will see this blessing. But we are assuring you that you will use the product whether you like it or not. You cannot escape ONPASSIVE. Because what will you use again? There is nothing out there. ONPASSIVE is better than any other thing out there. So you will not escape it, but we thank you very much. And what will happen? Once you use it, you'll be putting money in the founders and the resellers' pocket. So I just want to thank you very much and thank all the panelists and those who are watching. Make that decision before the door is shut. Thank you very much.
Definitely make that decision soon. Next, we have Oliver.
Yes, I want to say to thank everybody, my brothers that are here, Lynn, and the viewers, and those who are going to view it or look at it. I want to say thank you, and I want to say our company is leading in technology. When it comes to continuous monitoring and maintenance with AI, we are in a very good and the best position that we can talk about. Though keep fine-tuning the performance of the system. Make sure that it's perfect. Our CEO is somebody that is always ahead of the game. Look like what happened in Dubai for the past week. I heard a new word I did not know about: compounding marketing. Now we heard about the compounding of marketing. I know about compound interest. I didn't know that salaries are also going to be compounded. Everything is ONPASSIVE is compounded. Look at the Burj Khalifa building. Look at what we are doing. Children, their own department. Artificial intelligence and machine learning department. Tell me how we are not leading. If you are not with ONPASSIVE today, like my brother Collins always say, if you are not in ONPASSIVE, you will use our product. You like it or not, it's a force. You use it. Thank you, Auntie Lynn.
Oh my, there's so much for us to be proud about. When you list
Yeah.
those things, it just blows my mind. You know, it reminds me why this company is going to be great, awesome, fabulous. I can't think of any other adjectives that are better than that, but this company is going places. All right, next we have Vincent.
Okay, thank you, Auntie Lynn. So let's say continuous monitoring and maintenance is also another good part of IT system, because without that, because it's like Colin said, if you build a house and then you don't maintain the house, even if it's the most beautiful house, day from day, and then we keep going degrade from this value, because only thing you need to do, you need to continue maintain the house, keep changing even the pens from time to time. Anything break down the house, you need to do that. So this is exactly what it is in the IT, continuous monitoring and then maintenance. But on passive in general, after everything we've seen, like my old brother Oliver said, Collins and Bob, if you are in this world and then you are not part of this on passive, maybe you are sick, because I don't know the word to say it. You are sick, or maybe you are not well, or your brain is not turning well. Because very soon, if you are not part of on passive, it's like you are not, it's not the fashion. If you say, oh, today we have this Ralph Lauren, or maybe Michael Kors, and then you don't have any of these, that means you are out of fashion. So you are like, you live in the village. So right now, if you are not part of on passive, I think you are not in this world, this modern world, because this modern world with modern technology on passive is that company will have all this modern technology. Though we are living this modern world, and then you don't know on passives, that means you are not in this modern world. It's like if for a year coming from today and going on, if you don't know on passive, it's like you haven't been to school. You haven't been to school, because everything we're going to do, even the world will brief on passive. When you wake up in the morning, on passive, TV, radio on passive. So if you are in this world and then you don't know on passive, for me, you are not in this world. Maybe you are another world. So on passive will be the future of tomorrow. So even the children now, they haven't been to school, but they know on passive. So that's going to be the new world. The new future is on passive. So if you are here today and then you are not, and then you're still hesitating, I think you're going to hesitate for the rest of your life. And then when I was learning driving, the instructor said hesitation kill. So those people who are hesitating, I think they're going to die very soon, because they're not going to take the new fashion, the new world. Because today now, if you say I'm in the new modern world today, is on passive. If you don't know on passive, that means you are maybe our whole century where my grandfathers they used to live. So if you want to live our modern world today, you need to brief on passive. So Auntie Lynn, thank you very much. I'll leave it there.
Thanks. But rest assured, those who may not realize what we have with ONPASSIVE, they're going to see the light, because the marketing campaign is very extensive. Take the example of Dubai. Is there anyone in Dubai who's not aware of ONPASSIVE by now? I think every person there has seen the marketing campaign. I mean, the ads. So this is just the beginning. As we branch out to other countries all around the world, it's going to be the same, where people will just see ONPASSIVE everywhere. And ONPASSIVE is going to be a household name. It may be a verb, like Google is now a verb, right? So we're excited to be part of ONPASSIVE for sure. And lastly, we have Bob Takusi, who will say some, express his thoughts now. Thank you, Bob.
Yes,
Go ahead.
of course. Thank you. Thank you, my brothers. Pleasure. You know, the word is out. ONPASSIVE is constantly going to deliver. It's going to deliver. We're going to add value, and we're going to make sure we stay ahead of the game. Our founder is a man who, you know, that's how he's driven. He's driven by the extraordinary. We're not coming in to be the usual. We're coming in to make change, massive change. We are a company that is building products that is customer oriented. That is what is going to make us, you know, thrive and get into each and every household that whether they want it or not, they're going to use us. They're going to use our product. Look at the way Ash Mufara is coming out, our founder. We've gone to Dubai, we've been to Dubai for the whole month, right? He talked about replication a lot. He's going to replicate it. What has happened in Dubai is going to go around the world. Well, believe you me, you know, by the time we are ready to actually open our doors to start selling our products, we are the hunted. We are going to be the hunted. So he also talked about like feeling a little sad. Yesterday when he talked about the founding position coming to an end, he was really saddened by that because it is, he knows, and we know the value. Most of us know the value of ONPASSIVE, right? For those who are not in. That's why Ash Mufara made a statement like, oh, he feels sorry about closing down the founding position. When that happens, the word I was looking for is a plaintive wail around the world. That's how people are going to be crying. It's going to be a plaintive wail when this thing shuts down. And then our marketing campaign, we are all over the world. People will start crying. But they had a chance, you know. So just want to thank you, Auntie Lynn, thank my fellow brothers who are here with me. You know, we'll keep doing this to our fellow founders and viewers, just to keep you aware of what's going on. And hope that tonight's webinar was useful. At least you learned one or two things. You don't have to know anything, but just curious minds is never hurting. So thank you, Auntie Lynn, back to you.
Thank you. I know, and I want to say and tell the world that the 4 individuals you see here, Vincent, Collins, Bob, and Oliver, are fully committed to this webinar. They are selfless, in my opinion, because they don't personally gain from doing this webinar, but they do want to share their knowledge and their experience with you so that you might learn a little bit more about IT, information technology. And again, as Bob said, it's not necessary that you know anything more than you already know, but a lot of people are curious. They want to pick up some additional information, and it's kind of fun to learn new things. So this is what the webinar is for. It's for you, our attendees, to benefit, you know, and we're hoping that we're keeping it simple. You see our motto above us, keeping it simple, bringing complex concepts to you and making them simple so that everyone can digest them with ease. So this is our goal, and we will continue to offer this webinar on a weekly basis, every Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Please spread the word, tell your friends, tell your family, tell fellow founders about this webinar and send them over. We will post this webinar in the back office, so you'll have the link. So please come back again and give us feedback. You know, after this webinar is done, many of you know us. Come to us and tell us what you thought, and we're open to constructive criticism. We want to get better for you so that you're going to benefit. So on behalf of the 4 gentlemen here, our IT professionals and myself and Marty, we thank you for being here. I want to thank Marty DeGarmo, who opens up the webinar for us. He's usually here, but today he's busy preparing for the next webinar, so he's not able to be here. I also want to thank Bill Musk, who creates our graphics. This is a brand new graphic that you see behind us. OTech Pros, keeping it simple. Isn't it beautiful? It's simple and crisp and clean, and we'll be using this on a regular basis. So thank you, Bill Musk. We appreciate you for all the work that you do to help us promote this webinar. So again, thank you everyone for being here. Come back again, and we'll see you next week for OTech Pros. Aloha, everybody.
Aloha.
Same time.
Hi.
Bye, hello.
See
Next
you.
week,
Bye,
same
everyone.
time.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.